Hi, I'm Josh and I'll be taking you behind the future.
Welcome to Behind the Future. I'm joined by the wonderful Kaya today as my co-host. Kaya, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
I'm a Year 12 student studying at MGGS, Maidstone Girls Grammar, and I take media, dance and drama.
Fantastic. Well, it's lovely to have you back on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And we are joined today by Josh. Very excited to have you here, Josh. I think we already know where you work based on your outfit today. Yeah. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, not a problem. So, I'm obviously in the Army, specifically within the Army. I'm in the Royal Corps of Signals, which is our cyber corps. You can kind of think of them like they're the digital people, or the digital side of the Army. And then my specific trade is I'm an information service engineer.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to unpick that and find out what that means.
Yeah.
And go from there. But I'm going to hand over to Kaya for the first question.
Yeah. I think it's best just to start from the very, very beginning. So after school, What was your first route out? What did you then do straight after school?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a weird one. So obviously I'm in the cyber kind of world now, getting into tech, but just after school, I wasn't kind of into this world at all. I was more into the physical side of things. So I followed the coaching and personal training route. So I went straight on to college, did a full-time coaching qualification through the day, and nighttime I did fitness instructing at night school. That was attached to the college. And then once I've completed both of those, I moved straight on to my personal training level 3. Got that through an apprenticeship back then. Completed that and then was in the field for a little bit of time. And then that's when the love kind of faded for that. So I was struggling to kind of get used to just focusing on other people rather than my own sort of training. So when I train, I'm very much, I like it for myself, better in myself, and I've got maximum enthusiasm. Whereas the clients who were taking on, the people I were training, they didn't sometimes match that. It's all reliant on yourself. And then obviously they might be doing well for a while, but then you've got to just motivate. So you've got to be someone's motivation battery at all times. And I think I found that quite draining. And also around that area that I was doing it was very oversaturated in the PTI world. So I kind of came away from that, and then I went on to kind of not serious careers after that. So just jobs here and there. Yeah.
It's really interesting, and interesting how sometimes it just shows how sometimes you need to actually do something as a job to realise whether you like it or don't like it.
Yeah.
And as much as you loved it as a hobby, it wasn't right as a job, and that's okay though, because also you'll have learned so many amazing skills in all of that training that is then applicable to other areas of work. So really, really good. So What did happen after that? So you did some other different types of job. Well, at what point, like when does the Army pop up?
So I do come from a military family, so it's always kind of been there. I've got relatives in the exact same role as me, or a bit higher up now. So it's been there. It was always in the kind of back of my mind, but I thought, maybe it isn't for myself. But then after leaving the kind of PTI world or personal training, I moved on to a few random jobs, and in the final job before I joined the Army, I was actually working in a bank.
Okay.
So another kind of just really physical to just sat at a desk all day. And I will admit, I did find that quite mind-numbing. So I was trying to find the perfect in-between and get a solid career path. And then the stuff I already knew about in the Army, I thought, well, that's not my only option, but I thought that is the best option, because I had a house as well, so I needed still to keep a good amount of money coming in, keep the bills at bay, but then I also wanted to better myself without going without. And then the Army was just the shining ticket there.
Yeah. And were your family happy at that point? Were they like, finally?
Yes. Yeah. So when I was younger, they were, I think they were a bit worried about me going in. So that's why I didn't really push me into it. But as soon as I've done it at a bit of an older age, we're like, yeah, no, it's a perfect fit for yourself. Every day I know I'm where I'm meant to be. Like I can genuinely say I do love my job.
That's good.
Which I feel like that's quite a rarity sometimes. Some people I don't think most people can say that.
No, and I really champion though it is a choice we have. Like we can work towards finding the thing we love. Like, and some people it feels a million miles away, but it's like actually how do you change that then? Because you spend most of your life at work, don't you?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So how did you get a role? Obviously, you had the family connections, but in cyber and tech, when you've not been doing anything like that previously, what did you have to qualify at all? Was there work you had to do, or was it on the job training?
So a bit of everything really. So obviously you have to start off your process. Usually you just go to a recruitment office, or you can apply online, and then someone will contact yourself. Once everything's kind of sorted out and you look like you're solid with it, so you'll get taught to make sure this is definitely the decision for you. And then once the recruiter's settled on that, they'll align an assessment date for yourself where you'll go up to one of our assessment centres. So if you're from the south, you'll be going to a location called Purbright, or if you're a bit more north, you'll be going up to Scotland, Glencorse. That's where I went myself. Lovely little area. But while you're there, you'll do obviously your fitness assessments and stuff, making sure you've got appropriate level of fitness for the role that you're wanting to apply for. And following that, you'll do, if it's a technical role, such as myself, you have to do a technical selection test. And then if you've got the correct score, then you can then go into that trade. So it's showing that you've got a base knowledge, and you're not going to struggle when you eventually get to the higher level of learning that you've got to do with these roles.
Makes sense. And but you still had to, even though your role wasn't going to be out I'm trying to think how to explain it, because like the fitness side of it was still important. So does everyone that enters the army, they have to be a certain level? Yes.
So that's why it's dependent on what you do. So obviously if you're a chef, for example, they can be attached anywhere in the world, but they're not going to be running about as much as the infantry would be.
Yes.
So their standards are a little bit lower. But with ourselves, our classic role as a signaller, we used to be just radio operators. So we had to be able to carry big, heavy radio equipment back and forth. So our standard was a little bit higher than most of the technical roles. So you do need to train a little bit for it.
And it's so interesting, though, actually, that you just, and again, I think this is why it's brilliant having you on today. Like you just mentioned being a chef in the army. Like people just won't think of that. But of course, there are chefs in the army, but it's just that you just don't think about it unless you need to know about it. But actually the army is a huge employer. It must be up there as one of the largest employers in the country, I would have thought, potentially. Yeah, absolutely. I think Amazon has us beat, but obviously why. The amount of parcels that arrive at my house, that's definitely true.
Yeah. So obviously the army, it likes to be as self-sufficient as possible. So every job you can think of, I think I can pretty much guarantee we have. So we do have our own forces fire service, our own police service, our own medical service, surgeons, such as that. So yeah, any job that you are genuinely interested in, you can probably find it in the army.
That's incredible. And if someone's not considered going into the army, but they are thinking of a job that is in the army, that isn't one of the kind of obvious army jobs, what would drive someone to want to do that in the army versus somewhere else? Is it the benefits that come around it? Is it I don't know, is there something that you see in the people that are in the army?
It's a bit of an odd one, because there's obviously such a mixed match of people. Obviously, I went through basic training and stuff with like people 10 years younger than me and stuff. So you just kind of get thrown in. So you can't really say they've all got to have a shared kind of common goal or want. It's a bit of an odd one, that.
Yeah, it's a bit of it might be a weird question to have asked, but I don't know.
No, it's not. He's just trying to like answer it, because I'm like, I don't really know what it takes. And I can tell you all the benefits and stuff, and like what might entice people. I think for a lot of young people, I don't know about yourself. Have you? Is this your job role, like full time, or do you have any other work around this, or do you have any friends that kind of going into the working world?
No. This is pretty much school. Yeah.
Still at school and thinking about what to do next.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I bring that up is because I know when I was younger, you go into the working world, or I was getting like part-time jobs, and the pay, it's pretty abysmal. Like just because you're a bit younger, which you might be doing this, like just as much work as someone older than you, but just because about your age, you'll be getting paid less, or you're not considered for some roles.
Yeah.
Whereas the army isn't like that. They just want to know what you've got in you, and then you get access to obviously all this education and a fair wage, I think. So most of our recruits now are starting off at 25,000 a year.
Okay.
So as a starting wage, just for any role. I think it's
good.
quite a good start just to
Yeah.
get into the working world. So you're getting young adults coming into the working world, and we can give them a solid place to start with,
Fantastic.
where they feel like they're actually getting value.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people do further education while they're in the army. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. So a lot of it is offered through whatever role you've gone on to. So whatever trade specific role you've got, they'll try align you to an apprenticeship of some kind. So you can do on the job learning and also get a tangible qualification at the end of it. That is then
Fantastic.
used in the civilian world. So myself, earlier this year I completed mine. So I've got the level 4 in networking.
Congratulations.
So, yeah.
Was that hard work?
So I've talked about this previously on some other things to do with work. But yes, I did state there, obviously not coming from a technical background, it has been a bit of a slug for me to get adjusted to the tech world. But it's something I've loved doing. So I've loved the kind of challenge of just completely retraining myself. But yeah, it was a bit difficult, but I'm so glad I've done it now.
Yeah.
And it's led on to a lot of other paths following that. But yeah.
And how many years did the apprenticeship take?
So it kind of begins when you first get to unit. So after you're out of training, that's when they're like, right, it's on now, and you'll get so it'll depend on the level, if you've got a level 3, a level 4, or even a level 6. But with myself, you give in 2 years that you need to get it done in. Yeah.
Perfect. And that's alongside as you're starting to do the job like a normal apprenticeship would be. So you're actually getting kind of your hands on whatever it is your craft is, whilst also getting the qualification, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And so tell us a bit more, and tell us what you can around what your actual role entails and what kind of skills that you're using day to day. And I guess we try and link that back, thinking about what a young person knows from GCSEs and A-levels and what they might be studying.
Yeah.
What is it that stands out that you're doing day to day?
So obviously I stated my role is an information service engineer. So I just work within the applications.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say my role is mainly headquarter based.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are deployed, wherever it may be in the world, the chain of command, the bosses, the people who make the decisions, they need a solid place to work. And obviously in that place to work, you need access to all this modern equipment. We're not running off a pen and paper anymore.
Yep.
So we need to bring the equipment with us. So what we do is we come in, we establish a headquarter wherever we've been told to, and then all the trades will do their independent jobs. Once everything's set up, we kind of come in as the network managers, make sure any issues that arise, we're taking care of, and making sure no one ever lose communication with each other. So we're always in contact.
It's a really important job, I imagine, as well.
Yeah.
Mission critical, as it were, of making sure things stay up.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, as it is these days, we can't be unattached from our phones just in normal day-to-day life, but actually in that kind of situation, it's really important. Fantastic. That sounds really interesting. So is your role more working with the technology, or are you also getting to work with people, and what kind of skills are you having to use?
So at the moment, so it's kind of a mix of both. Obviously dealing with high-ranking officials and officers, we have to make sure they're always kept up to date with current situations. So obviously they've got the other situation, the mission to worry about, but they need to know if there's anything else with the equipment going wrong. So yeah, so you always need to be ready to kind of deal with the shareholders, if you think of it.
Yeah.
Making sure everyone's kept up to date and in the loop.
Staring at a blank screen trying to figure out what happens after school or college, university, apprenticeships, T-levels, it's a lot to take in. But what if you could speak directly to the people who are actually hiring? NAS Events brings you events like the National Apprenticeship Show, London School and College Leavers Show, and many more. They run the UK's top career events designed specifically for students aged 15 and up. These aren't just your boring careers fairs, we're talking interactive hands-on experiences where you can meet the country's biggest employers and top universities face to face. Whether you're looking for an entry-level role, a degree apprenticeship, or a pathway into higher education, this is a regional show near you. From London and Bristol to Scotland and Newcastle. The best part, it's completely free to attend. Don't just scroll through job descriptions, come and try out new skills, get expert advice, and find career paths that actually fit you. Ready to take the next step? Head over to nasevents.co.uk to find the nearest event and register for your free place today.
Have you got any questions?
Well, I don't really know because, I said, it's quite eye-opening considering the fact that when you think of the army, you think of stereotypical soldiers, you don't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So that you said that there's chef and things, it is actually really interesting to know that it's not just as cut and dry as it is made out to be. There's a lot more. I don't think anyone really knows about it.
Yeah.
Well, people just grow up watching the TV and films, and the depiction of the army in the films is always the bit that's going to be the exciting bit to watch on TV, isn't it? It's not the how did this all come together and what's all the support that goes around to make this. Same as in when you see something happen with a company on TV, it's always what's the exciting thing. It's not what holds this together.
Yeah.
And actually, the glue that holds the army together is a huge amount of glue in so many different ways, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting for people to be able to think about that and see, because most people, do you know what's the average tenure in the army? Do people stay their lifetime normally? I feel like it is once you're in.
Yeah. So you can go past your end of career point, we call it. So usually, I think full term now is 22 years, and that's when you've done a full career within the army, and then you're leaving with a full pension. I think a lot of people tend to stay on till the halfway point, which is quite good for your pensions and such. But it's really hit and miss. So I know some people that have just joined up and I just want to do the 4 years. I want to experience everything. I want to go all over the world. I want to learn some skills.
Yeah.
And then I want to leave. But then you've got people who are just they join from day one and just go, no, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, which is just interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of people these days, I think the average careers are changing all the time, but it's likely to be people might do 6 or 7 different things across a lifetime with more different roles within that.
Well, on that actually, so we're within the army. If you do feel like your role is not what you thought it was, so you've joined a field that you're like, I'm not too interested in, it is a relatively easy process to go through to retrade.
Okay.
So we have an officer usually on each regiment who it's their sole job to help you make career decisions.
Amazing.
So then if you were feeling like this just isn't for me, you want to go into a different field but stay within the army, then you can go approach that officer and then they'll help you take you through that process of changing on to a better suited career.
Amazing.
So you're never just stuck where you are in the army. I think that's the main thing that enticed me with the career changes as well.
Yeah.
If I ever did fancy another change, I'm in the perfect organisation for it.
Definitely. And so regiments, what's the average size of a regiment, or do they change all over the country?
It does change depending on what you're part of. So obviously my regiment, I think I can say this because I did Google it earlier to make sure it was there. So that means it's public knowledge. So I'm in 22 SRs, Signal Regiment, which is part of ARC, which is the Allied Rapid Reaction Corps. Mm-hmm. So that means we work with obviously NATO quite a lot of the time.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So obviously that's going on. We're linked to such a massive organisation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then because again, I don't know much about the army, but there's regiments all over. So there'll be some that are linked to bigger things and some that are more localised, or I don't know. How does that work?
Again, so it's whatever your job is. So if you're going as a medic, you're more than likely you can be attached to anyone. So you're very much an independent force. You're getting sent wherever they tell you to.
Okay.
In the world, but say if you wanted to stay local, if you were looking into the guards, they just tend to their guard force. That's their sole job.
Interesting. And will your role mean that you will end up travelling because you'll be going to set up potentially a headquarters somewhere, and that just happens when it happens? So you you're based in a single place at the moment, are you?
Yeah. So my parent unit is it's based in Stafford.
Okay.
So that's where I spend most of the time. But throughout the year, obviously, we get missions that come through, or just jobs, if you will. And then we've got to go fulfill that. That might be in the country. It might be or it might be another part of the world.
Yeah, it could be anywhere, which is quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really exciting.
I know my partner just sees it as free holidays. Almost.
Yeah.
We're not going. We are going there to work, but it is always nice seeing different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that? So you've got a partner. Obviously, I always think that's the thing that you do end up seeing in the movies as well, don't you? Of having to either move around together or just that you're away. Have you had much of that since you've been in the army as yet? And how does that
So it's a bit difficult sometimes when I'm sent away for prolonged periods of time.
Yeah.
So that can be a struggle, but the support network that I've got back home for my family, they're rock solid. So they're
That's
always
brilliant.
there to step in and assist.
And I guess your support network, as in your colleagues that are with you, you're all in the same situation. So
Yeah.
you're therefore a good support network for each other.
Absolutely. You're with your best friends most of the, like, basically
Yeah.
just at all times. You're working together, living together. So it is quite a unique and nice experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And so do you live on base or?
Yeah, so through the week, and then after that I travel back home, spend time with my family and my house. But yeah, most of the week I'm staying on camp where I'm given great facilities to live in as well.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's very much a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 type job, other than when you're out on a job?
Most of the time, yes. So obviously it depends on what's come through. So it can change, but the majority of the time we're just spent on camp where we're maintaining and managing the kit, making sure it's ready for whatever mission is coming up. So if we get given a preset amount of details for what we need for the next HQ wherever we're going, and then we'll just obviously change the kit or configure it so it's ready to go whenever we need to step out the door.
Fantastic. Sounds so interesting, doesn't it? It's like a whole different world though, isn't it? It's a different...
Yeah.
And how much did you, I guess because you came from a military family, you would have had some of this understanding beforehand, but...
I'd say a very minimal amount. So when my obviously... I've got a brother and my dad that are in, and then they just have conversations. And I thought it's like speaking another language before I joined up. So I knew a little bit, and obviously I knew the difference between the infantry and having a trade. I knew that, which I know a lot of people are uncertain
I didn't know
on
that till today.
But yeah, so as soon now that I've joined up and I'm in the loop, yeah, I do know quite a lot about it. But sometimes from the outside looking in, it is hard to just imagine what's going on. You're just kind of guessing everything.
Yeah. And it's so informed by movies, which are just fictional. They're not, it's
Yeah,
not the
I
real
feel like
world,
that-
which is not helpful. Not helpful. Do they do like 101 training when you first join so that you actually have a better understanding of how the army functions and things like that? Or do you learn more about that in the recruitment process as well?
So it's very much basic training. Your first few weeks are getting you used to the whole structure of everything. So you'll be taken through the rank system, so you know who you're addressing, how to address them correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be told, obviously, how everything works. So how, obviously, you've got squadrons, you've got regiments, you've got brigades, how all that fits together, what their purposes are. And yeah.
Brilliant. I feel like I need that training. I'd like to have that understanding. And you said obviously you had to go through like an assessment day. Or was it just a day, or was it multiple days when you went up to Scotland?
So it's a few days usually. So they try to kind of keep each day for one thing specific. So I think it was 2 days that you're up there, 2 full days. So the first day you go up, you do all your medical. When once you've been, and it's quite a long process, you have to make sure everything is right with yourself, and that obviously there's no underlying conditions that might arise later on down the process, because we obviously they don't want anyone to go in and potentially do harm to themselves.
No.
So that's the main part. So everyone gets past that. As soon as you pass the medical, onto all the fitness assessments and such, seeing if you can hit the right level that's needed, and then after that, the final day is when you'll do your technical selection test. And obviously your barb test. So you're doing like a cognitive test to make sure obviously your reaction's fine and how quickly you can take in information. And then the technical is just seeing how well you are doing learning essentially. And you are given some resources to use to make sure you're prepped for that test. So if you've done all your homework, then you'll be absolutely fine with it and get whatever trade you want.
Amazing. Do your homework first though. And so at that point, do you find out while you're there, or do you go back home before you find out whether you were successful?
No, absolutely. They tell you there and then, so you're not left guessing. They don't want to leave you with any doubt in your mind. So as soon as everything's come through, you've got your final scores. You'll be talked to by one of the final recruiters, and they'll tell you what you've got. They'll give you a grade as well. And so if you've got a few work on points, they'll let you know that. So they'll give you your date and say, before this, try work on these. But then if you've done excellent flying colours, they'll be like, right, you're perfect. You're ready to go. We'll give you an earlier date. So it pays to study.
Yeah. And what kind of, are you likely to be starting quite quickly after that? Or could it be you're not needed for 6 months, or are you...
It can vary. Obviously, around COVID times, the wait times were quite dramatic. But usually, if you're getting they give it just A, B, and C. If you're getting an A, you could be in within the next month.
Oh, wow.
If you're wanting that. I know some people want to be gone. They want to get there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But anything more than that, they might push it back by a few weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually not waiting more than around about 3 months or so.
Just a quick note from me. We'd love you to hit the subscribe button. This helps us more than you might realise when it comes to growing this podcast, ensuring we can bring you the best guests possible. Thank you. Back to the episode.
And are the trades always recruiting, or do you have to wait for something to come up? So like something more specialist, because how many people are doing the type of job that you do? Is that?
So I think, so there's only a few thousand of us. We're a relatively small cat badge or core. But yeah, but we're all, and I know ourselves, we're one of the in-demand roles, especially with the growing digital world, where we're needing as many people as possible to come join us, and like, we want everyone. But so they are always recruiting. So if you've got a job you're absolutely dead set on, and they say, "Oh, we could get you in a bit sooner," it's fine. You can still stay with the job you want. It's your choice. If you want to be in the army ASAP, then they'll tell you what role will get you there quicker. But if you're dead set on a role, then just stay firm, and that's what you'll get.
And the recruitment officers will help you understand all the different types of jobs, I guess, and all the different potential. Like, is there any kind of test you can take that will help you go, you would suit this kind of job, like a aptitude test?
Well, not so much a test. If you just go on our main recruitment website, you just put in your interests, really. What you're kind of into. It could be absolutely anything, any hobbies you've got, and then it'll just send you a list of roles that you might want to look into. It gives you all the information, everything about the job that you'll need to know. So yeah, you'll be well informed if you go through it all.
That's really handy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued by this because, I just, I've not had any friends go into the army, so I've just never had anyone that I can pick their brains. So I feel like I'm picking away here. What else, Kaya? What else do you want to know?
More so, I guess, just again, like I don't really know much about it because I have people that I know that are like interested in the police force specifically. But and I know one of my friends is interested in going to like the fire cadets route. So, and my cousin was thinking about doing, was it Air Force, I think?
The Royal Air Force,
so I think, I know people that are interested, but again, I don't think we know, like as in the younger generation as well, I don't think we know much really about any of it more than what you're pretty much told and what you see. Like you don't really see much else.
Yeah.
So
what do you think would be good for a young person to know about the army that they just might not know, that you've only really found out since you got in?
So it's not as scary as you think. I feel like most people are kind of put off by that, and again, back to the films, they'll think about people screaming at you and stuff, and that sort of thing, getting thrown into the mud. They've moved away from that. We've been moved away from that kind of style of organisation quite some time ago. So everything's quite reasonable now. We're updating ourselves and just try to lead the young people as best we can.
Yeah. So even in your kind of role now, and obviously personally you're already interested in fitness, but does the fitness bit stay as part of it? Is that something you're monitored to make sure that you're keeping your fitness levels up, or? Yeah,
so you have your yearly tests. We have one of them where it's just checking your just general fitness, so a few press-ups, pull-ups, and a short run, 2 kilometres. You do that every 6 months. And then from there, you have your yearly test, which is our Royal Fitness Test and RFT. And that's where you'll be moving with weight and such. So you'll be doing it in kind of this sort of uniform, moving around, doing some army-like movements with a bit of weight on your back.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just there to make sure you're still maintaining an all right standard.
Yeah.
But through day one in basic training, you're given all the appropriate training, so you're not left without. You're not just saying, "Oh, you've got to maintain this by yourself."
Yeah,
you've always got a team of PTIs helping you out.
Yeah, well, that's good, especially for someone like yourself that's already motivated to want to do that. Because I'm guessing you didn't lose your love of fitness after coming out of the industry.
No. I think that's why I was drawn to the army as well, because obviously having an office job and obviously a physical job, I wanted something kind of in between. And I think the army is a perfect blend of that. So it's just got variety. So my day can consist of obviously working on kit all day, but then other times I'll be off doing, such as this week. My corps has a yearly kind of athletics day, where we all get to go and meet up and just obviously have a fun day, just throwing javelins, shot puts, doing a few runs around the track.
Sounds like a fabulous day.
Yeah, so it's quite nice. You've always got something different coming, and I think that's what I kind of like, is the fact that I never know what I'm getting, but I know I'm always kind of going to be interested because it's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you ever end up with admin days where you are at a desk all day?
Yeah, you can be. So obviously, if you're on service desk, so say if you're in HQ headquarters, then you'll have days where you are just obviously getting requests for change, RFCs through, and then you'll just be taking care of little jobs on the system. But
So
you can have odd days like that. But sometimes you don't. You appreciate days like that because you might be tired from something completely different the day before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have variety, I think. Yeah, I couldn't do something where I was doing the exact same thing every day. I like the surprise and delight of, we're doing something different today. And I guess you've made some really good friends and people from all different backgrounds. And I just can imagine it's just a rich pool of people that, because as you were saying, obviously you joined that a little bit older. A lot of people might start younger, but there's just a real mix, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can definitely say so. I've met some of the best friends I've ever had. One of them, he doesn't know this yet, and I hope he don't watch this because it might tell him. But obviously, I'm getting married at the start of next year.
Congratulations.
And I was thinking he could possibly be my best man. And obviously, I met him within the army.
How
but now I've got to hope he
exciting.
doesn't watch this.
Yeah. Shh. Let's not tell him.
Yeah. If he asks me, I'll just say, it's not you.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, fantastic. And do you, so you'll get married next year. Will you have an extended time off? Like, can you book annual leave at any time, or does it have to be in certain times?
Absolutely. So obviously the earlier you can get it in, the better, and they'll protect that time in. So if you give them the time off within a year in advance, they're like, that's your time protected. No matter what comes through, we'll try guarantee you have that off.
Yeah.
But you do get quite a healthy amount of leave. And then they do encourage you to take it. They don't want you in work at all times. They don't want you constantly on. They want you to have that time where you can decompress and relax, not around the military.
Definitely. That's good. It feels like they have really kind of modernised from some of the ways that people might think of it, because you do just think of the getting shouted at and do 200 press-ups and like, whoa, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, so when I joined Basic, I was quite surprised because in my head I thought, that's what I'm going into. But it just wasn't at all. So I was like, this is quite nice actually.
Yeah, this is quite a relax compared to...
Yeah, whereas my dad was like, I had obviously quite a few years older. He's like, he had the old school of it. Whereas I'm like, no, I had a quite nice time in basic training.
Yeah. And are your dad and brother in the same type of work as you?
No. So my dad back in the day, he's not in anymore. He's been out for some years. He was an infantryman.
Okay.
So completely different to what me and my brother do. But my brother is in a very similar role to myself. So it's nice to obviously have that as well. When we go home, we can still talk shop a little bit.
Yeah. And do you ever get to actually work together, or?
No. So completely different locations. But I don't know. I think I'd found that because he is a higher rank than me, and I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that competition. But I bet your dad must be really proud of you both, though.
Oh yeah, he absolutely loves it. So every time there's a chance to kind of see us in uniform or kit, he's all over it, sending it to all the family.
Oh, he's going to be watching this back then.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell him how to find it.
Oh, I love it. What else? Is there anything else we want to know?
I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. But that's just I'm trying to be very careful with what I know I can and can't say. So yeah.
Is there anything else that you think I would love that kind of young audience to know about the army that they might not know, that you've only found out yourself since being in?
Well, I did have a list of things that potentially they could find interesting, but I don't know if it'd be good for me to just rattle these off.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I thought these were points. If I was obviously quite a bit younger in your shoes in this situation, these would be good things to know. Because obviously, coming out of school, you might think, I've got to go to uni to get this certain qualification. But I feel like we've got quite good incentives now to compare to possibly going to uni. So I know one of my friends that I went through training with, he said he flipped a coin. And it was like, it's either university or the army. But he wanted this career path, so he knew which way to go. But he ended up in the army.
I'm glad that coin went that way for him then.
So obviously we offer altered versions, but we use a lot of civilian kit. So we offer quite a lot of training. So we'll give you kind of a quick run through it. So we've got CCNA. So the Cisco Certified Network Associate. So we offer obviously our military version of that, which is the basics of it. But then after that, once you've completed that course, we then give you a discount to go on to get the civilian certification as well. So that's another one. So you can get that for free. Cyber 101. So this is what I found this tool quite useful for myself. So when you get to unit, you're showing a lot of online tools that can help you kind of just get into that sort of world. So the threats of cyber, what might be coming your way, especially within our job role. So that's useful training as well. Obviously, I mentioned it earlier, the apprenticeship that I got given. So the actual cost of that, we are told, is over £17,000
Brilliant.
per head. So you're getting that for free. You've just got to obviously just come in, do your job, and you're still getting paid as well. Quite a nice wage. It's not like you're an apprentice, you're taking a lower wage for this.
Yeah. Incredible.
Alongside that, we offer standard learning credits each year. You're given a pot of money to put to whatever qualification you want. It doesn't have to be trade specific. If you want to just learn a random skill and thought, oh, that's a good thing to have, then you can put that money towards that. And a big one as well. So we've got a new role within my CAP badge, so this is cyber specific. It's got a higher rate of pay. So it's called the Combat Cyber Operator. So if anyone is genuinely interested in looking into this kind of career path and within the army, then that might be a good role to look for. And also another good thing, so we offer quite good adventure training incentives as well, which is like one of the big reasons I also joined. So that means you can just go off and say you want to learn how to be a mountaineer. So take people up hiking and stuff, learning about how to read maps correctly. You can get all that sort of training, but obviously we'll send you wonderful places in the world to actually do it.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm in. Where do I sign up? I want to come.
I'll get the page up right now.
Yeah, I love it. No, but it's so interesting. I think more young people should know about it. And to be fair, obviously, we the types of events that we host, and this is how we ended up having you join us today. We get the army to come along to our events, and I'm always so busy at the event, I never get to go and chat to anyone. But I think obviously the army is present at a lot of events for young people now to try and break down these barriers, because it feels like they absolutely need breaking down, because there's so many prospects and all of that ability to get training. So, and what is there a minimum term? Is it 4 years minimum you have to be in?
Yeah. So 4 years is the minimum term that you are expected to fulfill.
Yeah.
But I think that 4 years goes so quickly. So my first few months I was in basic training, and that was around about 14 week. Then from there I went on to my trade specific training, so my phase 2. And my trade being a bit more technical, I was there for around about a year and a half. So obviously the first 2 years I've taken up just training.
Yeah.
Where you're really taken care of. Obviously within that time as well, you have access to AT. So obviously doing all that training and also getting out to go out the door and do amazing things.
Yeah. That's incredible, isn't it? Sounds really good. Really good. I'd love it. I think hopefully any young people that have listened to this have got a slightly different view. I know I have going away from today and a bit of an understanding of how they might get started. And I guess so the first step though is go and find your kind of local army office and go and start to talk to someone, or go through the website. Yeah,
the website. It'll give you a number to call, and obviously all the recruiters are always happy to help make you make the right decision.
Yeah, because I guess it does still feel like a big decision, as any career is. It absolutely is. But for some people, I do think it is genuinely good for them. So it does give them all the opportunities for success, I'd say. So you might obviously spend a bit of time away from your family, but it does help, especially for young people. It will help you kind of mature. Yeah. And then just learn how to be your own adult quite early on. Yeah. And I guess because obviously in the modern world we're in, a lot of people work from home, but I'm guessing in the army you can't ever really work from home. You've got to be on base with people wherever that is. But also that does mean that when you're home, you actually can switch off from work. Do you get to switch off? Do you feel like you switch off? Oh yeah, absolutely. So every time I'm home, I step through the door, everything just falls out of my mind. Which is brilliant. The working from home, we do have those every so often. So if we've got training to do, we do quite a lot of online training courses. The chain of command is quite good to give us
time to work from home.
Okay, so that's good.
So we
for
do
training.
occasionally get it, which I don't think many people would think we get that.
No. But I do think it is also, because you know what, we were literally talking about this in our team meeting yesterday, of actually one of the reasons I think people find it hard to switch off is because a lot of the time home is also where they do their work. And actually it's even like you need to fake the commute. You need to go and like walk out the house and come back in again to feel like, right, I've now put work away, and like hide the laptop away. But actually, if work is a completely different place and that you do truly get to come home and switch off until you need to go back again, that's a really nice thing. And I think a lot of people don't have that at the moment. So I'd see that as quite a benefit. I know I'm always switched on, which is a little bit frustrating, but hey ho, we enjoy it. And that sounds brilliant. Is there anything, so last question, if you could go back and tell Josh of 16 something for the future, something you wish Josh had known, what would it be?
Join up.
Yeah. Would you have rather done that earlier, do you think? Or do you think actually the journey you've taken has helped it make it more special in some way? Or
I think so. I think I joined up we're quite sound mind. I thought like I am the person I want to be, and I think now I'm like the end product to join. But the opportunities obviously that I've received so far, I wish I would have had access to them sooner.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think maybe I was just scared when I was younger, but yeah, it's just everyone's got to be nervous. But if I could have joined up sooner, I definitely would have done.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, and congratulations and good luck with the wedding next year. We wish you very well with that. But thank you so much for joining us. Kaya, thank you so much for being back as a co-host. Very much enjoyed having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to the audience. Thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you on another episode of Behind the Future.
That concludes another brilliant episode of Behind the Future. Thank you so much for listening. You can listen back to other episodes on YouTube or your podcast platform of choice. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, as that will help us to grow this podcast, ensuring we can get the best guests on here for you to learn from. You can also follow us on socials, linked in the show notes for exclusive content. See you on the next episode.